Hi guys, welcome to Luna's Kitchen. I am Luna. Today we are going to be making something so incredibly delicious. We're going to be making creamy, cheesy stuffed lasagna roll-ups. So it's basically going to be lasagna, but we're going to set it up differently. We're not going to just layer it, we're gonna roll it up. This recipe is really fun, so yeah, you're gonna want to do it this way. So I'm cooking my chicken, and I'm cooking about a pound and a half of chicken breast, chicken tenders. And I'm not going to actually use all of the chicken. I'm only going to use about 3/4 of the chicken. I'm gonna save the rest for another recipe that I have coming up for you guys. Anyway, so you can go ahead and use any kind of boneless chicken, and you can go ahead and cook it to your preference, or you can follow my recipe. I'll go ahead and include it in the description box. And what I'm doing now is I'm mashing my chicken with a potato masher thingy, and I want this chicken to be completely shredded. If you have a better method, go ahead and use it. And so we didn't throw away the chicken juice, so we're gonna use it. We're gonna re-put the shredded chicken and the juice, and we're gonna add about 3 ounces of cream cheese, and that's what's going to make our meat very creamy. If you're starting out this recipe with some pre-cooked chicken, like rotisserie, you bought some rotisserie chicken, go ahead and shred it, add a little bit of chicken stock to it, add a little bit of seasoning, and add the cream cheese. You're gonna end up the same place where I'm at right now. Now for this recipe, you can go ahead and just use like jarred pasta sauce. I just really wanted my sauce to taste the way that I wanted it to taste, so I'm going to remake my sauce a little bit. And so what I'm doing is I'm starting out with some garlic, some onions, some pasta sauce, and I'm adding a little water, and I'm gonna add my own seasoning into it. I wanted more of a pink sauce than a traditional red sauce for this recipe, so I'm gonna add some heavy whipping cream. Again, I'm gonna include all of the ingredients that I use in the sauce if you want to follow my recipe. You want to try the pink sauce as well. Let me tell you, it's so good. It's so good. Like, this dish took me a few hours. I have to admit, it took me a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but it was worth it. It definitely was worth it to cook everything from scratch. While you're making your sauce, you can also boil your lasagna pasta. Make sure that when you boil your pasta, you make it al dente, meaning that you do not overboil it. Actually, you want to underboil it a little bit, because you are going to be putting this pasta into the oven, so you are going to cook it again. So make sure that you just barely boil it, just enough for you to be able to roll it up, but don't overcook it. And so now we're finishing up on our pink sauce, and as soon as we're done, we're gonna basically cover it. After we put the cream, just cover it, let it simmer for a couple more minutes. Then we're gonna push it to the side, and we're gonna work on the next thing. So now we're gonna work on our final ingredient that we need to put our lasagna together. So we're gonna make our ricotta cheese filling, and it's going to be a ricotta mixed in with cream cheese filling. We're gonna add some parsley, we're gonna add spinach, we're gonna add cheese, salt, pepper, everything. And I'm gonna list the ingredients in the description box. We add an egg to the cheese to make sure that it binds everything. That's what keeps everything together. Because I've had the ricotta cheese and the cream cheese sitting at room temperature while I prepare the other aspects of the dish, as you can see, the cream cheese is really kind of sort of melted, and it's really easy to mix, really easy to work with. But we want it to be a little bit harder and thicker when we start putting together our lasagna. So what I'm gonna do is, after I mix it together, I'm gonna go ahead and place it in the fridge for about half an hour and let it cool off and let it harden before I use it. And again, I'm going to include all the ingredients in the description box. So now get a nice big space, and you're gonna set up your station, your lasagna rolling station. And now we roll. So I'm using a couple different smaller pans just so I can store the different platters of lasagna, since I don't plan on eating all of it today for dinner. And I put some tomato sauce in the pan, and now I am putting some ricotta cheese mixture on my lasagna, and I'm adding the chicken. You can add as much or as little as you want. I'm adding a lot, and be aware that when you roll these up, they make really big rolls. So you don't have to add as much as I'm adding. You can just add a little bit, and you'll see too, like once you start rolling it, you can see how big it gets, and then you can see how much you can put. And that's it. You add the cheese, you add chicken, then you roll. You roll it nice and tight, and you place it on your platter. And this is what you should be looking like. Nicely rolled lasagna. And now you are going to add your pink sauce on top. Feel free to add as much or as little sauce as you want. If you're using a pink sauce like I am, go ahead and do that. If you're using regular tomato sauce, add as much sauce as you prefer, as you would like. And then after you add your sauce, you're going to layer on the cheese. Now I'm using a Colby Jack, and I also mix it with a low moisture mozzarella. Again, feel free to add some Parmesan if you like that. Feel free to add some sharp cheddar if you like that. And after I add my cheese, I am tightly wrapping my platters in aluminum foil, and I'm going to bake my lasagna. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Now my lasagna is ready to be consumed. It's so cheesy. It's so creamy. Like, it just looks so good. I can't wait to taste it. Guys, this dish was just amazingly tasty. It was so delicious. Like, I don't even have enough words to tell you guys how good it tastes. You guys are just gonna have to try it for yourselves and let me know what you think. So reach out to me if you have any questions or comments. Until next time, guys. Bye.